Today, guys, we're reacting to a real-life story about somebody who moved to the USA and said it was the biggest disappointment of their lives.
Hi, I'm Abina, and I live in an orphanage in Ghana. And before you start feeling sorry for me and blah, 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 relax, man. Everyone is super chill here. The coffee is bomb. I have a little brother who worships me, so I guess that's why I've never wanted to get adopted.
Is this true?
Before I continue, please like and subscribe. Ever since I could remember, rich, stupid foreigners would come every month to take one of us home with them.
Just every month a rich guy comes in and takes you home? That just is the weirdest thing I've ever heard, but okay.
But I knew they were just using us to brag about how they'd done such a noble deed by adopting a poor orphan.
This is not a good look for Americans or rich people.
Whenever those snobs would drop by with their camera phones and designer clothes, I'd convince my brother Kofi to help me mess with them. Come see our room. We just got—
You know, this is a very English-looking outfit to me. Like, this is a lady in London, so I feel like this isn't American, so America, we're good so far, bro.
Sweetie, I'm taking a selfie with—
Our new blankets smell like lavender.
Ah! Is that
Pee? Silly me, I forgot. We have a bedwetting problem.
Why is the pee thick enough to stay on her nose and be visible? It's usually a liquid. Bro just straight up highlight markered her with neon toxic pee.
A bedwetting problem.
The woman ended up bursting into tears
I burst into tears too if someone put toxic urine on you like that. I mean, that is ridiculous.
from the awful smell. So traumatic.
Wow.
But one day, the warden had had enough of my behavior. You're 14 years old now, and Kofi's 8. It's important for your development.
Okay, just as a serious moment, Kofi is the greatest name. Like, if I had a kid, I would name it Kofi because I like coffee. It sounds like it, but it's not. But it's like, just, that's a good name. I love
To
that.
have parents. So the next
Wow.
time a visitor arrives, you better behave yourself. I was about to refuse, but I
Punch her.
wanted Kofi to be happy and healthy, so I gave in. Except when a couple finally decided to take us home, I immediately disliked them.
Oh, they look so nice. This is the dude's got a fish on his shirt. That guy's probably the biggest dork ever, and she looks like a Disney princess or something. Or maybe she's evil. Something's, I can't tell if she's good or evil.
Apparently,
But he
they were
looks
both
chill.
philanthropists who loved doing charity work. They were just too sweet.
It's Mr. Beast.
Feeling about these people. Just like that, they whisked us from our beloved home to some mansion in America.
This could be Mr. Beast's future, folks. Let's pay attention and see, are there similarities between his girlfriend and this girl? Is she South African?
Wants to see their new room?
Not Mr. Beast.
Do you want to see your big boy bed, my cutie wooty little mouse? Ew, gross. We hate mice. And don't talk to Kofi like he's a baby. Of
I think Kofi doesn't mind it.
course, dear. I'll try again. Yo, dudes. Who wants to see their billion-dollar golden baller sleep in place?
I mean, this would be kind of a cool mom. Honestly, this is cool.
You hear me, bro? There's gotta be a cliff
I mean, it's cringe, but it's cool.
I can jump off of. At least I had a giant bed with a mattress from heaven. But the next day, things took an awful—
Look at this living room. Everything's perfect, and then it looks like you got one of the founding fathers up there up front. They are Americans. Look at this.
turn. I discovered that Kofi and I were all over the news, and the paparazzi were right outside our window. Were my new parents famous? How come you didn't tell us you guys were celebrity philanthropists? I don't want to live in the public eye, and I've got an 8-year-old brother. I don't want his picture everywhere online.
Oh, come on. Being a celebrity is
You're just standing on the table for no reason. This guy, okay, look, this guy's weird.
fun.
You never have to wait in line. You get free stuff. Give it a chance, Abena. It's a—
Jeez. Not only does it sound good, the way they just casually did the 360 dance mom spin, whatever that was right there, was wild.
I've told you 3 times. You know what? Just call me Abby, since I'm an American now. Mom looked hurt when I said that, and from that day on, things went downhill.
Wait a minute. Is that Michael Jordan? They got Michael Jordan and a founding father? These guys have their priorities set, man. They know what they want, and then generic stock images of random mountain landscapes and clouds.
Mom and I fought about everything imaginable. Like, she'd get mad because I hated being interviewed by reporters, or because I hated the itchy $1,000 clothes she bought me.
No!
Or the fact that she kept feeding Kofi fancy food that he wasn't used to, even though I told her to just give us something more simple. By the time school started,
This girl I mean, I don't know whose side I'm on now, because like the girl sounds a little bit spoiled that she burned $1,000 clothes, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like it shouldn't be itchy.
I was exhausted from all the media attention, and I didn't want a bunch of kids coming up to me since I was the famous Ghanaian or
Wait. We got run around again. That girl's wearing Loverfella
kids
hat.
coming
Look,
up to me.
Look, I wore that hat. I have the same hat. It's a Loverfella hat.
So I decided to ditch class and hang out in the school garden.
Imagine having a school like that, 4 stories tall. The school I went to was 1 story tall. It was a trailer. My school was a trailer. Didn't have air conditioning.
And suddenly, I heard a voice near me.
Hey, are you okay? okay?
I looked over to see a boy my age with neon hair dressed in rags. Even
You're 14 years old and this guy's more ripped than Thor. What? I'm looking at my own arms right now. I've been working out for a long time. There's no way.
the clothes I wore at the orphanage were nicer than his. No? I don't know. My
This is what girls feel like when y'all look in magazines now. I understand. Well,
annoying,
he's still pretty
your
ripped.
biceps are gorgeous? Never mind. The guy just laughed, and suddenly I found myself pouring my heart to a total stranger about everything that had happened. I found out his name was Carter, and we went to the same school. He apparently skipped classes regularly.
I got a feeling Carter comes from a very broken, poor family because he's wearing a ripped t-shirt and she's gonna fall in love with him. But I don't know, we'll see,
So
we'll see.
he'd have enough energy to work nighttime shifts. And it was all because his parents barely had enough money.
Oh, he was ripped as a kid. Now it makes sense. Bro was just a big baby and he just stayed big. He's even, look at this. Yeah, no, he's eating Swaltine protein, gold standard whey. No, okay, I get it. He's ripped.
I felt
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
for Carter, but I was kind of relieved to finally meet someone here who wasn't rich. He ended up walking me home, but when we arrived, Mom greeted us at the door, and she
That was a, oh.
immediately asked Carter to leave. Abby, I know that boy. He lives in a trailer outside our neighborhood. I want you to stay away from him. He's a
I low-key feel like this is how my ex felt like a long time ago because like I was kind of broke and like she was kind of rich and I felt like their parents were like, if I had a water gun right now, I would hit him.
criminal. You'll be in danger, and people will think my daughter's mixed up with a crook. Because your publicity image is all you care about, right? You don't actually care about my safety. Well, guess what? You're not my real mom, which means I don't have to listen to you. Mom grounded me after I said that, but
I just don't know whose side I'm on. I mean, really, both have decent points. I feel like the girl here, I feel like she's a little bit spoiled still. I don't know.
Carter and I started hanging out all the time.
Fair enough.
Sometimes we'd ditch class together, and sometimes he'd sneak in through my window. So
Did her shirt just change color? Something about her arm, the way that move was interesting.
sometimes he'd sneak in through my window so we could watch MSA videos together on my TV.
I'm so glad you watch these on YouTube instead of TikTok. Promise me you'll never watch MSA on TikTok and fry your brain, please.
MSA had to sneak that in so you guys don't watch the people that take clips and put it on TikTok. That's so funny.
Believe Mom
Wow.
about the
That
criminal
is funny.
nonsense until one day I noticed Carter take off his baseball cap to reveal a clump of shiny jewelry. Please tell me he didn't steal all that.
14 years old. First off, he doesn't have nipples. Okay, that's odd, but okay, fine. Second off, that is the most perfect looking six-pack I've ever seen. This is, I mean, he's, what?
Abby, you know I have a family to support. Yeah, I feel bad for stealing, but a job washing dishes can only pay so much.
Look, I get it, but you don't have to become a thief. No wonder Mom thinks you're a delinquent. Maybe I'll ask her to give you some money. She and my dad love bragging about how they give to charity.
He's gonna say, I'm not charity or break up with her.
Then suddenly, Carter got this really serious look on his face, and then he told me something disturbing. My parents were known for being frauds.
I knew it. What I say about the guy in the fish shirt, I said, this guy's not to be trusted. He is a evil mastermind.
He and I hadn't been the first kids they'd taken home. Apparently, they'd foster them for a year or two, use them to get publicity, and then they'd send them somewhere else.
Nah.
That makes no sense. They took me home and signed the
doesn't make
papers.
sense.
Are you sure? Because they've never adopted an actual kid before. Look, I don't know the logistics. I just don't want you getting hurt. I know it's only been a short time, but I've grown to care about you, Abby.
I was about to confront Mom and Dad when I got home, but when I
There's a sign that says Kofi doesn't like the food went to the hospital.
arrived, I was hit with awful news. Kofi was in the hospital due to food poisoning, and he was really sick. This is all your fault. I told you a million times not to feed my brother fancy food like caviar
Dude, the way her shirt changes is like a Fortnite skin.
because he's not used to it. Now he's sick, and it's all because you two were too stuck up to give him something like rice and beans.
Abby, it's not fair to blame us for something like this. The food poisoning could have been from anything.
I'm trying to figure out why she's dressed like that. Like, I thought earlier they would explain it, and they never did. And she's got this, like, Pirates of the Caribbean style, 1800s, I just, like, got on a ship type outfit. And it's just not being explained. And what's the fish? We're not explaining things. I need answers.
He'll be fine. Why are you making such a big deal about food poisoning? It's not about the freaking food poisoning. It's about you two being selfish, irresponsible jerks that don't care about us.
Camera boy.
Mom and Dad apologized and reassured
They
me.
can't see him because he's blue. That means he blends in.
But I didn't listen. I knew now
they
that
do.
Carter was right. My brother and I weren't safe with these people. So as soon as Kofi was back,
It doesn't make sense. She literally, I mean, food poisoning is not in their control. Well, it sort of is. They took him to the hospital at least.
I crafted a plan to run away from home. Carter said Kofi and I could stay with
So your
him
plan is to run out the front door?
his family in the meantime,
Yes.
while he would help find new parents who weren't horribly selfish. So one night at 1 a.m., I turned off the location services on my phone and helped Kofi sneak out the window. I don't want to run away. These people are nice and they take good
See? He likes him. It's all the girl. I think the parents are fine too.
care of us. They seem nice, Kofi, but they don't really care about us. We'll be living in another foster home in another year. Trust me.
Says who? Your new boyfriend Carter, who you've known for like 5 minutes,
This kid keeps it real.
and who also happens to be a thief? I know you're not actually this dumb.
It's not like he wants to be a thief. He has a family to support, and I still would trust a thief over any adoptive parents who could hurt us. Carter picked us up in his car a few minutes later, but Kofi wasn't speaking to me. I felt bad, but I was doing the right thing by protecting us, right? Besides, Carter's parents were happy to let us stay with them for the time being. Yeah, they lived in a one-bedroom trailer, and Kofi and I had to sleep on
Is this guy's parents looking exactly like him? Because like, if you rewind that for a second and look, that's his parents and that's him. Bro is a spitting image of his father, except absolutely shredded. The dad looks younger than him. You could tell me that's not the dad. I would believe
Kofi
it.
and I had to sleep on a floor mattress, but it was still so much better than staying with parents who
Debatable.
didn't care about us.
Debatable.
The next morning, Carter told me that he had disguises in case the cops came looking for us.
No, I want to go back home. You can't do this to us. You can't take us away from
Did he pee his? He did.
Mom and Dad just because you heard some rumor to live in a
He did.
one-bedroom trailer with your boyfriend.
It's not like I have a choice. I'm doing this for you and your safety. Mom and Dad are frauds.
Why? Because they like bragging to the media about how they adopted us? Big D?
Everything he said makes sense to me. It just doesn't bother me they did that. It bothers her. I think she's in her angsty teenage stage. Tell me I'm wrong, and she's just trying to argue.
They still care about us, and they're
Yes.
still giving us a great life.
Yes.
You're just trying to find excuses to run away because of what happened 6 years ago.
Right then, Carter asked me what my brother was talking about, but I wanted to change the subject. I didn't tell Carter about how my parents had gone missing at work one day, and no one had ever been able to find them. And that's why we'd been at the freaking orphanage in the first place.
You'll do anything to avoid being hurt again. You'd even rather live with your criminal boyfriend.
I just can't believe this whole conversation he's got pee on his pants. Like they just, the entire time it's just there. No one's mentioning it.
And believe a ridiculous
Amazing.
rumor, then let another family take care of us.
I knew Kofi was right, and maybe staying with Carter wasn't the best option, especially because as days passed, I learned that he wasn't just poor, and he didn't just steal to support his family. I was drifting off to sleep one night when I heard laughing outside, and I opened the door to find him sitting with a bunch of guys and unwrapping towels filled with
Dang, each one of those has to be like $10,000. He just made 100K. 100% this guy is doing some sketchy stuff.
No, do not tell me you're in a gang.
Well, we all have families to feed, and now that you and Kofi are staying with us, I want to make sure I can support you guys.
I mean, his reasons are good though. Like it's bad, but it's good. This is a confusing story to me because I get it. You want to support the family. Look at these eyes. Tell me these aren't the eyes of a boy that is happy with what he's doing.
I don't want all of us to have to live in a one-bedroom trailer. Here, babe, I stole $50,000 just for you
Okay, so they're 50,000 a stack. Never mind, he's like a millionaire.
and your brother.
Carter, I can't accept this. You can't keep stealing. It's wrong. And I don't think we should be together either. I appreciate what you're doing for me, but I think it's best if Kofi and I leave.
No, please, don't leave me. You're the only
Where did this hyper-realistic motorcycle come from?
thing that makes me happy. Nobody at school wants to be friends with me because I'm a poor loser, and no one in the neighborhood wants to associate with me because I'm a thief.
Before Carter could finish his sentence, I heard police cars, and that's when Mom and Dad came running over and crying. I guess they did care about us after.
I know they cared about you after all. That's what I said the whole time. I feel like I'm right. I thought I was taking crazy pills. Look at this. Fish Dad's angry. Fish Dad's mad. When the dad has emotions that aren't just being stupid, you know this is a good family. Usually the dads are just stupid.
After all, and Kofi seemed overjoyed to see them. I started to warm up and apologize to my parents for running away. Then suddenly, a policeman handcuffed Carter and said he was taking him to juvie
Bro just turned into the Incredible Hulk.
for 3 years.
It's thanks to you two that we've been able to do an investigation and track down how much money this guy's stolen.
And he dated my daughter and put both her and her brother at risk. My heart
I
suffered.
like how just dating her puts her at risk. I guess it does, but that's a weird way to word that. Like, why do they care she dated your daughter? That is not their problem. That's some Karen behavior right there.
As I saw Carter's parents beg and cry and apologize, I knew it was wrong what Carter had done, but did he really need to be away from his family for 3 years? I tried not to think about it as Mom and Dad
Dang, they got armrests in the back and the middle seat. That's unusual.
drove us home and said we could do whatever we wanted. Watch movies, order in, go to Disneyland.
Dang.
They were good people, and I had been wrong all along. And
Now I'm wondering if there's gonna be a twist because there's still like a couple minutes left and they can't just end it here. That something has to happen.
instead, I put my brother in danger and got a boy taken away from his starving family. All because I was too traumatized to trust anyone to adopt me. I felt practically ill with guilt. The next day, I finally went to school for the first time without ditching class, and everyone was interested in being my friend since I'd been all over the news and
Whoa, this is a good question for you guys. Are you the blue characters in real life or the ones with color? Because I was a blue character for a lot of my life.
I
That was
dated
me.
a known
I was the
delinquent.
blue guy.
So what's it like dating a real thief? Have you dated thieves before in Ghana? Is it true all of them have rock hard abs?
I
Oh, no,
I don't
those
know.
poor guys.
Why would I know that? By the time I
Oh
got
my
home,
God.
I felt like I was literally
crazy.
gonna die of guilt. And then things got even crazier. Mom and Dad called Kofi and I into their study because our old warden had called.
She wanted to check in and see how things were going.
Warden?
We told her we loved fostering you two.
But we're
and
gonna
the
give you back.
truth is, we want to adopt you.
What do you mean? I thought you already adopted us. Oh, no. Usually, we foster children for a few years and then we find them a home. Your warden sent you off with us because you'd have better living conditions. But we love you two so much that we want to keep you. So Carter had been right about the whole fostering thing, but he'd
Don't do the lip thing with this. Don't do that.
been wrong about them trying to hurt us.
Bro is like he's in freaking prison doing hard time, doing sit-ups in the orange suit. I don't know if that's how Juvie is. Maybe it is. I don't know. What?
Been looking out for Kofi and me. He was a good guy. I couldn't let him sit in juvie for 3 years. You guys can adopt us, but on one condition. You have to help out Carter's family. They don't have any money or food. That's the only reason why Carter formed a gang and became a crook in the first place. Yeah, he committed some bad crimes.
If they do it, these are the sweetest parents ever, and this main girl is an absolute abysmal human.
I won't date him anymore, but he's a good person.
Will
and
they
she
do
would
it?
have to stay in juvie for 3 years. To my surprise, my parents actually agreed, and the 4 of us went together to talk to the police about Carter's situation. My new mom even insisted on buying his
Isn't that how a lot of criminality starts? You need money and you do something. I feel like if this argument works for him, the prisons are about to be empty.
family a new house. Thanks, Mom.
Okay.
That means a lot. Did you just call me Mom? Well, you did agree to adopt me, and I've kind of been a jerk to you. We hugged
Wow.
at that moment, and it made me feel warm inside. But there was one more person I needed to talk to.
Wait, his hair was not that orange, was it the whole time? He just became Ron Weasley in there?
Sorry, I got you into this
Was
mess.
it really this orange the whole time?
I'd still have to go to a disciplinary school, but you won't have to stay here for 3 years.
Don't apologize. That's what you get for forming a frickin' gang. Thanks for looking out for me, Abby.
That's oranger than the orange jumpsuit. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
I know we need to break up, but I'm glad we're still friends.
Actually, my real name is Abina. Why don't you call me that from now on? And yeah, of course we're friends. I've never had anyone look out for me the way you
Just
did.
friends? You guys dating?
Will
What's
I see
happening?
you again soon, Abina?
You sure will.
What does that mean? What does that mean? We're not dating? Are we together? Are we not together? I need to know how this ends. Pretty good story, guys. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Do you wait, this had nothing to do with America at all. I thought this would be about food. Didn't the thumbnail have food in it? What?